Good late afternoon here in town. Yeah, and good day to you. Today's topic, peace, war, grace, Gaza, and Ukraine relates, of course, to IMC philosophy, point of view, and uses of IMC or empathy, awareness, and the conflicts going on in this area. Um, it's been said a long time ago when a group of people got together and discussed war and the choice of war or peace, and both sides said, their way could end in death. You might you can seek peace and you might die, and you can seek war, and of course. But isn't peace just a little bit more important? Um, Not a dove and I'm not a hawk, personally. I think rationally one can't be just all one or the other. Um, our basic nature is to defend and to cooperate. Um, so to get needs met. That's the social creatures we are. And what advice do we have? What thoughts do we have on how to ease the pain, the loss in Gaza and in the Gaza and Ukraine? Well, first of all, a lot of people will ask, "What do you think?" I think the two sides need to ask, "What do you feel?" And then go into, "What do you think?" And then maybe expand to, "What do you think I feel? What do you think I think?" If there's a lack of love flow going on in these two there, it's a big time. That would be a suggestion. Acts of grace along the way. How do you treat prisoners when you take prisoners as versus the other side, perhaps isn't doing the right thing? Make sure that you do the right thing, and ask them, "What do you think?" And form a bond, friendship. I'm betting that almost any families on either side of either of these conflicts, if they met each other, wouldn't want to kill each other's children. Am I right? We need to keep saying that over and over again. Maybe it'll sink into to some of these people who are inciting the whole conflict or furthering it unnecessarily. Well, that's one thing that could be done. And overall, it's all about trust, building trust, creative ways of seeing things. Try seeing things from different perspectives. That's why at the end of all my videos, I've got lots of different perspectives. Try seeing things from a number of different perspectives. That can solve a lot of problems. And these these approaches, um, creative, objective, passionate empathy, should be used in all of our diplomatic efforts. That would assuming the other people are devils or evil or somehow not human, that doesn't help the love flow, does it? That isn't in line with Namaste. We need to respect and honor the humanity and each other as humans. The humanity being our higher empathetic ways, and we need to take chances. What would happen if you had a ceasefire to ease the pain? And what if you had peace forces, not just military forces, but peace forces that would go in and we do, in fact, they're healers. They're in there trying to help. What if we fund them? We do the military, send them in and try to, protect them, um, but help them make contact with people and make friends, people wherever they're going. And instead of just pictures of things blowing up on the news, I mean, we get it, it's horrible. But what about all of the touching things? Our heroes at work over there on the side of peace and healing. What about those stories? What if we just blasted those stories over every internet, news broadcast everywhere? To make sure that both sides on either of these conflicts see the acts of those who care. Maybe they would have a sense of shame about putting them in danger and sacrificing their young people and their kids in conflicts. Some people will point to, the people's tendency to be comforted by what's familiar to them, their own cultures and so on, to be threatened by cultures outside. That's where we need to seek a commonality of between the different cultures, and there's a lot in common. You look around and you see the cities. Well, look at the cities; they don't look the same. They're pretty much the same. Now there's McDonald's, surprising places. So you wonder whether other than the language, you kind of might wonder whether you're in downtown New York or downtown Tokyo. Ooh. So anyway, that commonality, that's a key point, and it's a point of comfort from which we can then expand, which is the philosophy of AMI, to seek to find comfort and to expand it. And that might be at times a little uncomfortable for people, but in the end, you have a bigger comfort zone, more acceptance of more people and their differences. And would you like everybody to be just the same? It sounds like the beginning of a horrific sci-fi movie where everyone's the same. That would be That wouldn't be very interesting. Need a little drama to appreciate it. So it isn't all about sitting around going, oh, the symbolic kinds of efforts, which is not the thing that IMC supports. I mean, yeah, it's okay, but it's not the way. Okay, but not the way. I mean, you can do more than that. You can have that, fully the way to get things done for greater love and peace. So, I send love to everyone. Where's my vomit bag? It's a nice thought and a nice feeling. If you like that, fine. But do something. Do something. Do something to create that peace and that love. Then you might have more enjoyment. The love zone. Right? It'd be a lot more interesting perspective. So there's a lot of symbolic efforts, and people. It's easy to dismiss these situations by going, "I'll pray for you." Yeah, they're missing a few verses there. What does it profit a man to say they believe, but their works don't show it? What does it profit society? If you want to work for love and peace, then you got to do what you got to do. And the military's not evil. Trying to put out fire, trying to defend, but in the meantime, find what you got in common. Try to work things out so that the minimal amount of collateral cruel damage. That isn't something you want. Not something that the world needs. I am wondering, just where are you right now on these issues? What do you think needs to be done? We need to think about these things. And always remember, to find any organization, any powerful entity, and in the heart of any person, coming from any space, culture, location, there is the human. Now, a nice subjective view of what it is to be human comes from a guy named Sapolsky. Look him up. And, I think that, we have to look at the negative and the positive. The glass isn't half full, half both. Or it's half full of, if it's water, it's half full of water. And atmosphere, it's half full of air. In a vacuum, I suppose it could be half full of water. That's it. Even in the vacuum of space. Yeah. And it's all connected. Everything's connected. What you do now connects to everything else. Period. Now, each one of us makes a small splash. That splash has consequences. It moves outward, ripples. That's what you mean by old spin lost. Okay, that's a bit of a splash. Make a bigger one. Do something. Um, you know, come firefighter, police officer, a medic, a nurse, a doctor. Do something. You know you can. If you're an elder at the end of your life and so on, what is your job? Job, at very least, is to share the stories, your viewpoints, okay, so that people can understand themselves better, you better. And elders, there's a pattern, in IMC that I try to express, and perhaps not as well and concisely as I need to, but there's a pattern, especially in the forms of empathy and trust. And that's, I call it like the inner, and as far as inside your own imagination, it's your inner counselor, inner caregiver, inner artist. And then I match that with a pattern I see in the family, where the fatherly role tends to be more on the objective side. Compassionate role seems to be more on the action, helping side, bringing up the needs of a person. And the grandparents, well, they're more free from those is more essential efforts for the survival of the central focus of the kids. And they're up above. They have time to reflect. Good society, they have time to reflect. And they have a perspective from that can be more open to creative play. Just talked about that before. There's a special relationship between grandparents and kids. And there was a study done. Elders in a home and some children. They were, taking care of these two groups. And one day someone said, "What if we put them together?" Well, the story goes that this one elderly just gave up on life. Shame, yeah, take nothing, and just more or less lay there and slowly meet his fate. Fate we'll all meet. And when they brought the kids over, well, one day they brought the kids over, and that guy had gotten up, showered, shaved, and enthused with life says, "Where are the kids? Bring on the kids." That creative perspective is so important. So important to have someone outside of the immediate drama and survival needs of a child, which the parents are concerned with, to be outside of it and place a perspective that allows them to be more at play with children. I've talked about that ability in terms of relating to babies, be it play with them, and baby talk, you know. So that reaches a deep level, so, you know, if the baby is babbling, then babbling back a little bit, with some emotions, that's going to carry a little tinge of language with it, from an adult. And it helps the kid to be at play, feel like they can play with sound. And playing with sound is how they develop language. So it's not a bad, it's a good thing. And being at play with kids, I'm not saying that the father and mother, every human being plays all of these roles, increasingly as they grow older. But their main focus are in these ways. So when I'm expanding from the internal to social, it's all about the emphasis, even at the basic individual level, your own imagination. The amazing thing about the creative artist in you is that it creates your whole experience of what the universe is, and who you are, and who others are, and so on. It's good to be at play. And from that, you get all of these practices. That creativity, and all this inspired. I call it my muse. This kind of inspiration came about, from religious roots. But left the religious roots after a while. Didn't need them. It wasn't something that I had to have. But it's, I still appreciate the good things in religion. Anyway, all of religion, because people created them. There's something to be adored. There's something to be adored in anything. Marvel at, or in some case, in awe of, and hopefully not terrified. But yeah, deep thought is not a city in a strange land. It's something you can all do. Reflection is a good idea, and IMC is all about that. Now, on the bigger social level, past the family itself, there's where the pattern I see again. The media is like is like your creative artist society, and government is like your objective empathy self. Only in society as an institution. These are institutions, and the church institutions all should be. And business is all about trade. And that's where the drama is. That's the kid in you. Experiencing more directly the drama. Trade is definitely an area where you feel more impacted by survival pushes, influences. So, yeah, and trade needs to be fair. Can't be free. We're going to have a nice free baseball game. It's within the rules. It's going to be, it's just free for you to excel and do well. But one team gets a bat, and the rest get a broomstick. Yeah, so shouldn't be like that, right? Freedom, it's real freedom, I call wise freedom. And it comes from a balance and a harmony of these things that I talk about. Yeah, I guess that's a good way to end this. I I do wish peace and love for the world, but I'm also producing a video and making suggestions. And I tried to watch my speech so that aggravate the situation. Yeah, doing something is sometimes it sometimes means not doing something. Refraining from doing things that are bad. Yeah. But the best way to refrain from doing bad things is to be so busy doing good things that it never even enters your head. That's just my opinion. Hungry for yours. You can leave comments and links to your own videos. Go for it. Anyway, if there's a lot of hate and things counter to see that. Well, I hope they don't get traction. But expecting a YouTuber to catch all of those is difficult. So I hope YouTube does. Anyway, and maybe let us know. Anyway, big hats off to the philosophy of Linux, which means nothing hidden behind the curtain. People free to be creative and constructive with the code that they use. And it's the same here. It's the same philosophy. That's why I mention them all the time. The same philosophy with this practice. Wanted to be free and open source. Free for people to take and adjust to what it is that they're working on or the position from which they're coming or the area in which they live. Yeah, it can get complicated, right? That's why I call it this inner mind communication channel, my distro. This channel's distro. Others in this channel to help with the project, helping love to flow. And in honor of that potential for love in you, that potential in me, that amazing brain in me would like to through the same amazing potentiality. And the way to do that, traditionally in India is to say namaste. I like that word. You can choose your own. Namaste. Yeah. And have a good day, y'all.